So, I'm a bit of an iffy hand here. It has 3 lands. This is a virtual mulligan, though. I'm gonna try again. Okay, I'm gonna keep that. Don't want to multi-5 with this deck. One thing with the greed is that it mulligans a little worse. Pretty sweet draw. Is that what I'm going to Contagion Clasp? No, I'm not in a rush to Contagion Clasp. I have the Strandwalker to deal with that. So what do I fetch? Do I fetch a black or a blue? Well, I guess if I draw one of the two by the time this dies, I can actually Contagion Clasp him if I choose. Next time I'm dropping the Strandwalker, though. There's no question. He's a little bit slow out of the gates, other than that Sky Hunter. And the Strandwalker should put a stop to that. Unless he can kill the equipment. I'm a little flooded here. I have plenty of high impact cards, though, that I could draw. Guy's a bit scary. Ooh, and speaking of high impact cards, I don't want him to gain infinite life off that Marauder, though. I could play the Clasp on it to start shrinking it. Unless he's dropping something else, though, I'm pretty safe to just attack with the Battle Sphere. And like I'll trade with the Marauder. Even if he blocks Marauder and Partisan, I can Contagion Clasp to finish off the Partisan. And then I've got a pretty sweet board position. Although he does have 5 cards in hand. I mean, in the long game, I can't imagine I'm not favored. He's got to think here what he's going to do about a Battle Sphere. I assume that means he has no artifact removal in his hand. I'm sure he's got some in his deck. White, red, green. All the artifact kill colors. Divine Offering would gain him 12 life, if that's what he's got. I'm not so worried about the life gain here so much as getting an arrest. I see. Okay. So here, I'm pretty sure I'm content to trade with the Marauder. Yeah, he should not be so content. Again, I'm not worried about him gaining some life. Like it would be a lot of life. He's rethinking that attack. Okay, well I'm gonna shrink that Marauder. I think, barring some other. Ooh, that's speaking of ridiculous draws. And I have a lot of artifacts in play too here. That's a pretty ridiculous clock. Just like activated 3 or 4 times next turn. Although he has the Sky Hunter to block. Hopefully he can't. I guess burn the Impure would be bad news. Nope. Ratchet Bomb. Wow, that's pretty swingy. Clear my board and gain 8,000 life. Fun times. And deal a ton of damage too with the swing here. I guess I'm gonna keep my. I think I want to keep my emissary here. How much is he gonna deal to me? Quite a bit. Three, 6. Oh, that's no 12. Can I go down to 4? Not sure what choice I have here. I don't want to lose my emissary. I want to make him a blocker. Oh, there's a there's a vivisection, which would be sweet, but I think that's more important at the moment. Make attacking a little bit more difficult for him. Dead to removal, unfortunately. If only I had my own Marauder out. We'd have a real interesting game going on. Well, I like that he's thinking. That means he probably doesn't have removal. No, well, what was to think about? It's a sweet card. So a lot of sweet cards played that game. Now it's time to think about what I want to do differently, if anything. This is a legitimate threat when I know he's playing red. Punish him for that splash if it's a splash. I suppose that might be, well, at least playing one of them might be better than the glider. I don't know what I would bring in the other one for. Alright, I'm gonna stick with that otherwise. Concussive Bolt's probably worth considering too. Considering all the fatties, but it's probably just to win more. I mean, I think I have enough ways to break a stalemate other than rely on a Concussive Bolt, which is really bad if I'm behind. Man, I've never seen such ridiculous swings. I don't know about never, but like, okay, play Battlesphere. He plays the Marauder. I play Igniter. He plays what's it called? Clears my board, gains 30 life. Goes from being dead on the board to way ahead. I will not play first. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm on the draw. Got some nice card draw going on. Even if I am, oh, that's a little awkward. Even if I am a little bit short on mana, and the Vivisection with the Mirror Sire looks pretty sweet. And there's a forest. I think I can safely play Lead the Stampede next turn. Like, even if it draws me 4 creatures, so what? Huh. That's interesting. Wait. Did he change that? He did. He's now Infect. Interesting. Alright, well, rather than do nothing, I'm going to play Lead the Stampede. If I draw 3, so be it. I discard something. I'm sure I'll have something to discard. Some interesting creatures. I'm going to draw to discard the Courier. It's a little awkward without having that second forest. And he may not be playing red anymore. Although it's hard to imagine with a red Sun Zenith. Still going to discard it, even though my hand is quite clunky at the moment. clunky is an understatement. I may just vivisection next turn and discard something just because I need some lands in the mix. There's nothing in my hand that I can play, and this is the penalty for being greedy, but well, that's going to be sweet against Infect. I'm going to have some tough choices here. Okay. Well, Juggernaut definitely seems a little underwhelming against Infect. I'm going to discard this Plague Maw. It's just worse than the Keepers, it seems. Okay, well, next time I get the Keepers out, at least. Hopefully there's no removal for it, or I'm in some amount of trouble. Well, I got the lands going on here, so I can hopefully recover. So yeah, even though this solves Keepers, it also kills the Servant. Keepers of his own. Well, I guess he's not going to do it for 5. I would like that extra forest so I can get Glissa going. I can also play Marauder here. I think I like the idea of making sure I get to 7 next turn, though. I'm certainly set up for some powerful things. Like, imagine, like, recurring Battlesphere with Glissa. I've also got Battlesphere into Igniter. I mean, he could get this to 7 in the near future. So there might be some value in either coaxing him to use it on the Battlesphere first and then returning it with a Glissa at some point, or coaxing him to use it on the Marauder. Here I'm just going to get that
green mana going. Yeah, I think here it's relatively safe to just play out a battle sphere. And the next one I have some very interesting options. Well, I can potentially bash in for a lot with the Hellkite and the Battlesphere. I think it's better off not letting him 2-for-1 me on the two of them. Ooh. Well, no, and I have no sacrifice outlets here, so... I think here I'm just playing out Glissa. Oop, wrong mana. And swinging with the Battlesphere. I'm only going to tap 3 of them. I want to keep some defense. And well, I might as well. Oh, he's going to take it. He is going to regret that when I play Igniter next turn. Although no, I can't play Igniter next turn since he's going to Ratchet Bomb for 7, unless he does it on his turn. I've actually never seen a Ratchet Bomb for 7 in Limited. Like, what do you do with Glissa? And he's another way of doing it with Glissa. Plus, oh right, I don't know, that'll work. Because he's got to deal with Glissa too, or I'm gonna recur Battle Spheres. But I still have some game. Contagion Clasp is interesting. Can muck up his Ratchet Bomb, but not before he kills the Battlesphere, I guess. I think here might as well gain a bit of life. Here goes the Ratchet Bomb. Before I gain a life? Okay. Makes sense. And actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I draw a land, then the Igniter is lethal next turn. So I think I go ahead and play the Contagion Clasp on his Digester. Okay. So even without a land, I can probably swing for lethal, but I won't risk turning everyone sideways. Do you have the removal? I don't think so. Definitely no black open, so yep. Alright, well, I definitely like this deck. If he's infect, even if he's not, let's switch that back out. Zuri. There's an argument for carrion call against infect. Even something like Flare Husk. That would, if I brought in Carrion Call or something that's not a creature, I'm going down to 14 creatures for Lead the Stampede. But again, it's the goal is to draw bombs, not necessarily draw a million cards. A Darksteel Sentinel is pretty awful, isn't it? If he's infect, he might go back to the other one, given that he saw the Keepers. But it probably is a bit clunky. It's just a matter of what I bring in instead. Berserkers actually might help the curve a bit. And then Carrion Call. Yeah, Carrion Call is probably good. Just like it also works well with either of my proliferates. Like even if they aren't X1 infect creatures, they shrink, and then I can further shrink them with proliferates. I can also maybe equip them with a Strandwalker. Juggernaut actually is also maybe a little bit worse against infect. I just don't know that he's going to stay infect. I'll keep the Juggernaut. I just don't see anything I rather have. Okay. Where is my opponent? There he is. No, he was lagging too. A little awkward, but with the Spellbomb, I'm gonna keep this. I'm on the play. Hopefully I can find a forest so I can get extra happy times out of the Spellbomb. Oh, he disconnected. He was so worried. Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward hand though. That Gliss is gonna be hard to get going. I guess if I draw a forest, I can Spellbomb for the swamp. I think that's the best course of action. But like, yeah, this deck doesn't mulligan all that well, being so greedy, and so and this definitely has some potential. But triple of the same land is not what this deck wants to see. Yay! That's good news. Oh, so he did go back to his other deck, which kind of makes me wish I had the Do I want to lead the Stampede here, or I think I'm just going to draw my land and my card. Oh, there's a forest. That's good news. That's also good news. And drawing creatures, needless to say, is also good news. I think I have potentially more lands than I need here. Rather than risk the flood. Now I do want to get to 6, which I will anyways, and 7 eventually, so I should draw another land. And I get to start dropping threats here. I'm going to drop Glissa here. Even the rest does not turn off Glissa. And I've got to turn to Slag for some nice little value. Get that Horizon Spellbomb maybe. What did he bring back? Origin Spellbomb, sure. The plan right now is just drop Marauder next turn. But now that he's back to white-green, splashing the Zenith, and maybe something else, Glissa is going to be a whole lot harder to deal with outside of Zenith. And Mortarpod brings back some artifacts for me. Ooh, and some more bustedness. Here I'm just playing the Marauder. And, well, he can't really block, can he? Well, he can, but I'd be more than happy if he did. No, he's got one of his own. That is going to be turned into Slag, though. Not before I guess he gains life, but if he gains life, I get both my artifacts back, I guess. I'm not going to mess around here, though. I want that dead. Oops. So like he gains 5 if he sacrifices this guy, but I get an extra artifact back into my hand. Yeah, no, he's seen enough, and if he saw my hand, yeah. I think it's better for him that he does not see my hand. I'll see you next